Hey everybody, Adam Ant here again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Crafter Love 1.0, or what we are calling the Enchanted Scroll system. Before I show you the system, I'd like to talk a little bit about other alternatives in giving the crafters a little bit of love, a little bit more to do in game, and some of the reasons that they were rejected in favor of the Enchanted Scroll system. The first and most obvious approach is just a global reduction in weapons and armor and other magic items, because when you can open up a treasure chest and find, 3 or 4 reasonably good weapons and armor, you're far less motivated to go to a crafter and buy a GM weapon. Same goes for PVM, but treasure chests and the like yield a fair bit more of these high-end magic items. The problem with the global reduction, and we have reduced it some, but in general, the problem with a global reduction is it makes adventuring far less fun. A treasure hunting template is very expensive to create. Cartography is hard to raise. Lock picking takes a long time. So it's a big investment, and to have all of your high-end weapons and armor removed, or most of them, and you only got a couple of things there, it makes the template far less worthwhile. For PVMers, it's a little bit different equation. It's not so hard to create a PVMer, especially if you're a tamer. But it's far less fun if you kill a monster and all you're going to get is golden gems. That gets old really fast. Part of the excitement of UO is finding that vanquishing weapon or that indestructible armor. So we didn't want to do the global reduction, because even though it benefits crafters, it hurts some of the other templates pretty dramatically. So another system that is popular on UO servers are bulk order deeds, or BODs. Bulk order deeds do accomplish the one goal of giving crafters something to do immediately. They ask an NPC for a bulk order deed. The NPC tells them to create 300 tunics. They create those tunics, and the NPC gives them back rewards, gold or other rewards. And while it fills the need of giving crafters something to do, it's sort of a closed loop. It's just the NPC and the crafter, and those items that the crafter created did not benefit the rest of the PvP or PVM crowd at all. They just went to the NPC and they're destroyed. Actually, under the covers, the NPC just deletes them all and gives you your rewards. So on the one hand, while it solves sort of the giving crafters something to do problem, it doesn't contribute anything back to the economy, and just injects items and rewards back into the economy that weren't earned in any other way than just crafting. There was no adventuring or no risk involved. But most importantly, the items created don't go to the players. They don't go anywhere useful. So there's that, and then there's the rewards from BODs are sometimes atrocious, like the neon cloth and power scrolls and runic hammers and things of this nature. Don't really fit with sort of what I would call the Siege mindset, the hardcore shard, scraping by a living. Somebody running around in neon cloth sort of detracts from all that. So for these reasons, the BODs were rejected. So what we set out to do was create a system where adventurers, PVMers, cartographers, dungeon pickers, all these guys could go out and continue to find the good loot, but a crafter would be needed to enable that loot. Okay? So that is the enchanted scroll. So what happens basically is half of all the high-end weapons and armor and other magic items are replaced with enchanted scrolls, and then the adventurer needs to bring those back and have them rendered by a crafter. Okay, so let's go ahead, give that a try so you can take a look and see how it works. So let's go find a dungeon chest here. That'll be our first experiment. We're gonna go find a dungeon chest. Let me hide myself so I don't have to fight everybody. Okay, so here we have a dungeon chest. We're gonna look in there. And you'll see that we still have some magic clothing items and some magic armor, but not a lot. And you'll also see that we have these enchanted scrolls. These are what the enchanted scrolls look like. So we have one here for a heater shield. So we're going to take that. So at this point, it's worth noting that only 50% of all high-end magic items are replaced with enchanted scrolls, and none of the low-end stuff. So your low-end magic gear, like a newbie might find at the Brit Cemetery, those are all left alone. There's no requirement that they even see a crafter. They just put it on and go. But all the high-end stuff is now going to require, 50% of the high-end stuff is now going to require crafter involvement. Okay, so let's go see our crafter and see what's required to get this thing converted to a real weapon or armor. Alright, here's my little helper Morgoth. Alright, so let's... Okay, we're going to make a heater shield, a magic heater shield. And by the way, your item ID wand works fine on the enchanted scrolls. So this is a massive heater shield of defense. Okay, I'll take it. So give that to Morgoth. All right. Now Morgoth is going to go ahead and start crafting. So he wants to make a heater shield. So the RP explanation here is that the magic is actually contained in the scroll. So the crafter doesn't need to have magery. He just needs to have the skill to craft the item. So he's going to try to craft this item, and when he's successful, the scroll will be converted into that item, and then he can sell it or give it back to the player, whoever gave it to him. All right, so let's try this. Oh, got the wrong tool. Okay, we want a heater shield. All right, now here's our scroll right here. We're going to make a heater shield. All right. You imbue the item using the enchanted scroll. So we have now converted that scroll into a massive heater shield of defense. So in essence, this is how the system works. Adventurers and treasure map hunters, they will still go out and find the vanquishing weapons and indestructible armor, but half of them will need to be rendered by a crafter, and the crafter could then be involved in the whole process. likely they'll charge something for their services. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it. I'll post later videos on other areas of crafting we are looking at. Currently, we're going to be converting half of all high-end magic items. We have that on a slider so that we can adjust that up or down based on the flow of these items into the economy. Okay, that's it for today. Talk to you later. Enjoy Enchanted Scrolls.